I'd love to really just do some community outreach and see how we can get more people involved in the library, what they want to see from the library, and if we can do it, and how to make it happen.
Hello, my name is Michelle Apoetica Richardson, and I'm here at PTV interviewing some of the candidates for this current election that we're holding here in the wonderful city of Peabody. Today, we have a few candidates with us, and one of our candidates is sitting with me right now, and she is running for Library Trustee. And I mean, I didn't know what Library Trustee was, but I think you're going to tell us, right?
Hope so.
So what is a Library Trustee? What do you do? And what does the position entail?
Library trustee, as the library trustee serves sort of as the liaison between the city and the actual library, and we sort of serve as a checks and balances situation. Okay. And there's a lot of focusing on bringing the community together and educating the community and community programming.
Nice. Can you name any of the initiatives that are outward facing to the community that the library is currently working on?
I know that currently through the summer they've had a ton of they've had a ton of kids programming going on. I know they have a yoga program happening over there now. Their programs are across the board. They really have a ton of great things for pregnant mothers, for babies, for little kids, for teens, for adults, for seniors. They really hit the entire community for programming, and I think it's fantastic and really brings everyone together. And
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Now, of the programming that you've seen come out so far, is there interpreting? Are there multiple languages? I know that the library's always been very particular with handicap accessibility, so I know that that part is covered. But when it comes to, we have such a huge Portuguese population in the city. Portuguese, Greek, and even Spanish now, Brazilian. How are those communities being targeted and addressed and approached in this endeavor?
I'm not entirely sure. The programs that I've taken I haven't run into anything where they've had to have any interpreters or anyone there. And I don't know beyond that. I do know they have ESL courses there.
Nice, okay.
And I know they have a lot of conversation classes along those lines too.
And that's been going on for a long time at the library.
Yeah, that's been happening for quite a while. Yeah.
So it's exciting to see all these different positions that it's so many moving pieces to make a city work. And an institution like the library to make it work. I know that funding is usually an issue when it comes to institutions like a library. So recently there's been a big push and a lot of talk around these famous Audubon prints. So as a library trustee, understanding the mechanics of it all when it comes to the feng shui of the library, how do you feel about the Audubon prints? Because I've heard a lot of people feel positively about it, but some people feel negatively about it because they feel the funds could be better used in other ways. So what are your thoughts and feelings about that?
My understanding of the library's Audubon collection is that we do gain some funding from loaning them out.
Okay.
And allowing them to go to other museums or to other libraries on a loan basis. And I believe we get funding for that. I'm not 100% on that, though.
Gotcha.
I think that culturally they're good for the library to have. I know that our people say that our funding could go to other places, but I feel like they're sort of a cultural touchstone for birders and art-wise. Our particular collection had been out to the open for quite a while. and there are, kids' fingerprints on it. There are people who go in and they remember going in and just flipping through them.
But I also know that we lost some
Yes.
in that process of accessibility. So that, to explain, like sometimes we feel like barriers go up just because people want to put up barriers, but sometimes there's real reasons behind this. So we had a whole set that was stolen, correct?
There were, I believe there were 2 thefts.
Wow.
And currently, I believe there are 3 of the set that are still out there.
Wow.
The FBI was not able to get back.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a shame. So when it comes to the contents of the library, I know that within your role as library trustee, there's only so much that you can do as far as moving and shaking and getting things done. But in your position as advisor, let's say, what do you see happening when it comes to the library's offerings of books? Like, do you see any type of diverse book initiatives? Do you see books that are truly, genuinely reflective of the different pockets of demographics within the community in the city? Do you see any of that happening?
I currently see a lot of that.
Yeah.
I know when I go to the library at the end caps, it's an ever changing list. Not pile, they're better than that, and set things up nicely of like, here's books about Maui, like it's always, they try and keep current. Here's books about, anything, and they really just find a subject and run with it and highlight what we have and kind of trying to open your eyes. I know they also have I think they had a library situation with a loaning situation where you could just say what genre you liked, and they would just pick out 3 books for you. Like,
That's
here are some things that
awesome.
I like.
Like a suggestion box or something.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
they would say, okay, here are 3 books. And, you could just pick them up.
Wow.
So they work with people, and they're kind of here for everyone, and they're wizards. Yeah.
Now, are you from Peabody originally?
I'm not originally from Peabody. I've lived here for 10 years.
Okay, so where did you transplant from?
I am originally from New Jersey.
Okay.
And prior to Peabody, I was in Arlington.
Okay.
I moved to Peabody, and I got my library card before I changed my license.
Isn't that awesome? So as a resident in the city of Peabody, what direction would you see this library going that would turn it more into the library of your dreams?
That is a fantastic question. I would love to see I know they have a ton of programming and they offer a ton of programming. I would love to see more, I would love to see more people interacting with a lot of these programs.
Yeah.
I know some of it's tough because a lot of them are during the day. There are a lot of things that I'm like, I'd love to do this. Oh, it's at 10 on a Wednesday or something. That's great for people that can do 10 on a Wednesday.
Right.
So it's nice that they offer it, that they offer it for all times. But there are some where I'm like, rats.
Now, speaking of that, right?
Yeah.
Wanting to see more of that, do you think maybe putting advertisements out there in different languages, or maybe partnering with the School of the Deaf or the School of the Blind that we have in the region, like, is there anything outside of the norm that you see could possibly happen at the
I
library?
think those would both be fantastic.
Phenomenal, right?
Yeah, those would be wonderful.
I know. I think we have so
Are you
many.
running? You should run.
No. But I can tell you that we have a very interesting geographical location when it comes to institutions like those. We have a lot of specialized places in the area that have people that need love too. Mm-hmm. And we have a great example locally, Northeast Arc. Are you familiar with them?
Yep.
So we do have resources in the community that, if we all work together, we could make magic happen. So I'd love to see your library come to fruition.
It would be, yeah, it would be great to get everyone involved. I want
Yeah.
everyone to be more involved in the library. Really, that's my goal, is for everyone just to love the library and want to be involved in the library all the time.
I think one of the things that I remember for a lifetime is the very strict hours of operation of the library, and sometimes later nights, like you say, later nights and events at later, like activations at night and evening, are needed, and it kind of boils down a little bit to a question of access. Some people in the current era we live in, they have to work,
Right.
and because they have to work, they shouldn't miss out on, the treasures of the library. So how do you see that changing as a library trustee? How much influence can you have in something like that?
I think that really comes down to funding. That's a matter of being able to have staff that are there, have the library staffed enough during, for later hours or for programming, especially. If someone is there from 9 to 5 working at the desk, they probably don't want to be there until
Yeah.
9:30.
Gotcha.
And also, I don't know, funding wise and union wise, if they're able to do that.
I think this is a very important topic, because a lot of the times as a community, we point fingers and unfairly judge some of the establishments, organizations, and institutions that help kind of shape and mold and maintain our communities. But sometimes it's really out of the hands of those in charge. And, we as a community, I feel, have to take accountability, because accountability is a two-way street. So I feel like we as a community should take accountability. Like, that library has been there longer than most of us in this room. And I feel like when you have a resources, if it remains untapped and the doors are open, how much can you point your finger and blame, right?
Right. I know that they have opened up some accessibility with a lot of sort of online programming. They do have, they've worked with Libby and ebooks, so
Okay.
there is access to the books that are there. There's, I know there are a ton of resources as far as Creative Bug and Hoopla and Tubi, and a lot of streaming and education services that are available at home.
Okay.
And I know the Library of Things offers hotspots for people that don't have internet at home as
Nice.
well.
So you have a library of things at the Peabody High?
Yes.
A library of things? Can you tell me more?
Games. I think they have some ukuleles.
Really? Like instruments
They
as
have
well?
instruments. I think they
This
have a
is huge.
ukulele. Yeah.
So, like, okay, so please go to the Peabody Institute Library and find out what resources and activities are
They have the
available.
fancy cake pans.
Really?
Yeah.
You can rent. Okay, so all right, so you can rent cake
Not
pans.
even renting, you're just borrowing
You're
it.
just borrowing it. Wow, that's amazing. That's a great resource. Thank you so much for
You're
letting us
welcome.
know that. Now, moving forward, what can we expect from you this new term?
Oh, goodness. I would love to see more programming. I'd love to really just do some community outreach and talk to everyone on Main Street, everyone around, and see how we can get them involved in the library, how we can get more people involved in the library, what they want to see from the library, and if we can do it, and how to make it happen.
Okay. Do you have social media?
I'm on Instagram, and that's about it.
Are you open to the constituents of PBD reaching out to you on Instagram?
Sure.
Okay, so could you give us your Instagram handle?
I'm at NJSTACIE.
NJ
STACIE. My name.
STACIE. Okay. So you can find this wonderful library trustee on Instagram and send messages about suggestions and ideas. Always come from a place of love and always put kindness first. Thank you so much for being here
You're
today.
welcome so much.
And I wish you the absolute best of luck in your position.
Thank you.
Thank you.